Alright, we're gonna watch this video. It's called Most Unsettling Roblox Ever Created. I said it wrong. It's called Most Unsettling Roblox Games Ever Created. Ooh, I'm gonna put my glasses on for this one so I can look smart. Here we go. Okay. No music. Video. Unmuted. You know the drill about the no content in the video or whatever. You know. Ooh.
Resulted in death. Yeah, I don't recommend joining this
Okay,
game.
Sorry, I was so stunned.
Again, especially if you have epilepsy. Like, I kind of
Whoa.
feel like this game should be banned.
This game is really traumatizing, dark, and depressing, and
This
now
thing
I don't know
looks
what
familiar.
to feel anymore.
Because something very disturbing does actually lie within these games.
Ooh.
Roblox lets developers create any
The
game
games
they
are
can
haunted.
think of, but some people chose to build games that shouldn't have been made. Today we're diving into the worst.
Hello,
of
Mr.
them.
Visual
These are
Venture.
the most
It's been a little
disturbing
while.
Roblox games ever made. So it is almost the end of the year, guys, and my goal is still the same: to increase the number of videos I put out for you guys without sacrificing quality.
We should play
to do
some
that,
of
we
these.
gotta keep
They're
growing.
probably
So it
not
would mean
that
the world
scary,
if you
right?
subscribe, and I promise to do my
That's a
very
joke.
best I possibly
gonna play them.
can for you. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome.
you.
Forsaken. In 2025,
Forsaken!
a Roblox game called Forsaken blew
kind of know this game, I think. You know what? Let's just watch.
on the news. But the attention wasn't because people loved it. They said the game was promoting something evil, something that could physically harm those who played it. The idea of the game seemed pretty average.
Forsaken is a Roblox game in which you must escape the killer before he comes and attacks you.
It looked like a standard survival challenge.
What?
Run, hide, stay alive. But inside the game, something else was going on. And that's what started all the trouble. The game included a fictional religion called the Spawnism cult.
No
The cult worshipped
way.
a strange symbol.
The Spawn cult is a cult that
Isn't that
worships
just
the
a spawn
Yeah,
symbol
remember
for
that little
Roblox?
symbol there? Yeah, they worship that thing.
They claimed this symbol had supernatural powers. It could bring anyone back from the dead and give them a second life. That belief showed up in the
Whoa.
gameplay. Whenever players passed away, they respawned. That meant they came back to life at a spot marked with the spawn symbol, just like the cult promised. At first, players laughed at it. They knew it was all made up, simply part of the game. Then things changed. Some players started saying the Spawnism cult wasn't fiction. They insisted it was real, and they wanted
This shit on TikTok and people would literally start to what? Why do
others
we
to join the cult
why?
too.
Why?
It started
It
slowly.
always goes too
Players
far.
made videos explaining the cult's beliefs.
We spawners believe that if we show our devotion towards the spawn, this Roblox symbol, then we will be granted a second life.
Soon, Discord
shouldn't
communities
laugh.
appeared. One was
shouldn't
called
laugh.
the Church of
gonna
Spawnism.
laugh.
Another was Spawnism Circle. Inside those servers, members took on roles like priests and prophets. They gave orders and expected
Try to
their
respawn
followers
now,
to obey.
guys.
They performed rituals around the spawn
Whoa.
symbol, expecting it to give them
Like a
powers
3D
of
layout,
reincarnation.
Visual
New
Venture,
members were
whoa,
told
the
to
production
prove
money
their
went
devotion.
up.
At first, it was simple. They had to post pictures of the spawn symbol and type messages praising it. Then one of the cult
sorry.
leaders named
What
Chesbull took
is
things
this?
to
What are we
another level.
doing, guys?
was a grown man who uses spawnism to get young people to do bad things.
He told his followers that pain was the true proof of loyalty. He encouraged them to carve the spawn symbol into their skin.
Oh
Then
my gosh, you
post
were
the
right,
result
Cloud.
Online. Here's an even bigger problem.
Oh.
Many members were very young.
This is
They joined for
50
fun, and
FPS.
now they were scared. Some left immediately. Others stayed convinced the cult could truly give them a second life. Luckily, a
Told ya.
screenshot of
I know,
Chesbull's
you're right.
crazy Discord messages leaked online. That's when the world finally realized the danger. The fictional cult from the game was now harming real people in real life. Within days, media outlets picked up the story. They called the situation dark and depraved. News about the cult spread across social media.
chronically
Former cult
alive.
members started speaking out. One wrote, "I was not
haven't
in
played
the right
Roblox in
mind and
so
was absolutely
long.
terrified of
I have
death.
no idea
But
what's
luckily, I
cool
watched
and
the
hip."
video before doing any rituals or stuff." Parents urged others to stop their kids from playing Forsaken. Roblox couldn't ignore the public outcry. They released a statement, but it wasn't what worried parents expected. They said they investigated claims related to a Spawnism cult and found no associated violative behavior on the platform.
You know what this
Roblox-
reminds me of? There was like something that was going around like some years ago that was like it was like the whale thingy. Dude, that scared me because it happened when I was kind of young, and like I was like, oh my gosh, it's real. But it was just like some challenge that was like going too far too. Like it was some like a list of things you had to do or some shit. I don't even remember, but I remember it scared me.
didn't see a
was
problem.
like, oh,
They
it's
refused
real.
to ban the game. Forsaken is still
like
playable today, and the Spawn
10.
cult still
I wasn't
exists in
10.
fan
I was pretty young,
groups
though.
and chat servers. Some players say it's all roleplay. Others still believe it's real. This next game was so disturbing that players contacted the police. Sarah's
La
house
policía?
tycoon. In 2014, a construction game appeared on Roblox. It was called Sarah's House Tycoon. Initially, it looked normal until players noticed something strange. The game was filled with hidden messages. They began to piece the messages together, and they came to a chilling conclusion. Players believed the game's creator was trying to confess to a real crime. The game was created by a developer known as I Miss You Tycoon. That name alone raises questions. Who did they miss and why? The game didn't say. Instead, players were told to build a house for a character named Sarah.
This is a seemingly innocent Roblox game about building a simple house.
Players added walls,
It's so
installed
funny
doors,
because
and
they're
placed
like,
furniture.
this
It was
went
fun.
too far,
the
and then it
game
cuts to
gave players
Roblox
new goal.
gameplay.
Buy Sarah a car to go with the house. Players got the car, but when they looked underneath it, they saw a dark figure hiding there.
Look under the car. Please don't tell me so. Can I actually?
There's
What the hell
someone
is
under
that? Is that a
there.
person?
That person was named Self. Self wasn't just a character in the game. It was described as the main antagonist. In other words, Self was the villain. Self would often lurk around any area where Sarah was without her knowledge. Players found that unsettling. A character who secretly watches a girl. That sounded more like a stalker than a normal Roblox villain. Theories spread fast. People began to think Self represented the developer of the game. And if that was true, the developer might be confessing that he was stalking a real girl named Sarah. One player wrote, either the creator was stalking her or I'm just yapping about something random. Another asked, isn't the creator of Sarah's House Tycoon a real-life stalker? A harmless game suddenly felt like a disturbing message, as if the developer left clues for players to discover the truth. And soon they found something even worse. Behind Sarah's school in the game, players found a dumpster. One player live-streamed himself.
That's the guy who won the vertical streaming on the streamer.
He
Okay, I'm
walked
sorry.
up to the dumpster and turned up his volume. He heard something terrifying.
You're gonna start hearing someone screaming, someone crying for help, someone upset. Hear that?
Muffled screams
No,
were
I didn't
coming
hear
from
anything.
inside
Play it
the
again.
dumpster. Players
My
believed
eyes
the
closed.
screams belonged to Sarah. That made players even more determined to understand the game. What was the creator trying to say? They kept playing. Eventually, they unlocked a new update. The game revealed that Self took Sarah's life. Her remains were locked in the dumpster in North Carolina. Suddenly, the screams from the dumpster made sense. After that, players began to ask another question.
So
If
we're
this game was
calling the
really a
police.
confession from a real stalker, then who was Sarah?
Make
Was a
a
girl
big
with
bunch
that
of
name
stuff to get on the
actually
video.
missing in North
I'ma make an
Carolina?
ARG.
Reddit users began digging through real police reports. They searched for missing girls named Sarah in North Carolina. They found one case that matched the clues in the game. Her name was Sarah
No way.
Nicole Graham. She disappeared in February 2015.
Her family said she left their home in Fairmount, North Carolina, early that morning to go to work. She never arrived.
Police believed someone close to her probably knew what happened.
Most of the people we have interviewed have been cooperative.
Whoa.
We believe someone very close to her isn't telling us everything they know.
This led players to wonder if the game developer knew the real Sarah and if they were responsible for her disappearance. Online, players shared screenshots and theories. Some even talked about contacting the FBI. They believed the game could be the key to solving the case. At the same time, they all tried to figure out who created the game. One rumor pointed to a YouTuber named Systix.
I'm pretty sure that the developer all along was Systix. Because if you go to their YouTube channel, as you can see, they make a lot of analog horror videos.
The rumor went viral, but it was never confirmed. Systix never admitted to creating the game, so the developer's identity remains unknown. Here's what we do know. The game is still online, Sarah Nicole Graham is still missing, and players still believe the game is somehow connected to Sarah's disappearance. Up next is a game that used science to scare people. Russian sleep experiment.
Oh, here we go.
This game had a bizarre
The
concept.
Russian
It asked-
sleep experiment. I remember learning about this too, and I thought it was real, and then I found out that it is not real. It's fake. I didn't come again. Here's my coordinates.
players to
I'm
perform experiments
yeah,
that looked
here I
evil.
am.
It's called the Russian Sleep Experiment, and it launched on Roblox in 2021. The description said, this is a game where you can experiment with imaginary viruses on robots and perform tests to build more powerful virals. But once players entered the game, it didn't feel imaginary at all. The robots looked like real people, and the experiments looked painfully realistic. Players took on the role of scientists. They stood in front of test
What the fuck?
subjects trapped inside glass chambers. Their job was simple but disturbing. Inject each subject with a different disease, and then watch what happens
That's not
next.
the Russian sleep
Subject
experiment.
144, we're going to do some test experiments on you today, starting with this one. All right, why is he sitting like that?
Each injection caused a new reaction. One made the subject's skin change colors. Another made their bodies twist. Some even caught on fire. It seemed cruel. And players noticed that someone was hanging from the ceiling. One Redditor described the game as human experimentation along with detailed gore. They followed it with a warning. Young people should not be performing detailed human experimentation in video games. Parents and older players agree. The problem wasn't only the gore. It was the fact that Roblox is filled with young kids, and those kids were the ones doing the experiments. Then players found out where the developers got the idea for the game, and that made people even more upset. The game was inspired by a famous horror story also called The Russian Sleep Experiment. It became popular online in the early 2010s.
The Russian Sleep Experiment is the terrifying tale in which 5 people are kept awake for 15 days and the horrifying effect it had on their minds and bodies.
5 prisoners were locked in a chamber and given a gas that forced them to stay awake for 15 days straight. As time passed, their minds broke because of the sleep deprivation. They became violent. When scientists finally opened the chamber, the prisoners were unrecognizable. That horrifying tale was turned into a Roblox game, and people didn't like it. Someone commented that the game showed brutal acts of crimes against humanity. Another asked, how is this game allowed? The complaints continued. Eventually, Roblox had to respond. In 2022, Roblox removed the game without warning. Players who bought Game Passes logged in to find it was gone. But most people understood why. One user summarized it this way: Roblox really doesn't like anything that resembles human testing. Today, the Russian sleep experiment is gone from Roblox, but very disturbing gameplay videos are still all over the internet. This next game was so disturbing that it made people cry. Steal a Brain Rot. In 20
Really?
24, a Roblox game made kids cry so loudly their parents thought they were physically hurt. The game was called Steal a Brain Rot. Players had one goal: collect digital characters called brain rots.
In this game, you basically come to the center here, take a brain rot, like this guy, and you'll walk to your base.
Brain rots were the most valuable thing in the game, but there was one unique rule: other players could steal them if you weren't careful.
The biggest twist about this whole game is that you could steal each other's brain rots.
The rule caused chaos in the real world. Kids had meltdowns over stolen brain rots. It was such a big deal that one mother wrote a blog post about it. Is stealing a brain rot destroying my child? She described a terrifying moment at home. I heard screaming and crying from my 8-year-old. I dropped everything and bolted from my chair, convinced he was in danger. She checked her son for injuries. He wasn't hurt. He was just devastated because another player stole his brain rot. Parents across the internet share the same story. Kids were crying uncontrollably because of in-game theft. Steal a Brain Rot wasn't just the game anymore. It was affecting real emotions and real behavior, and things were about to get worse. As kids played more, they found new ways to steal brain rots. Some resorted to manipulation. Here's how it worked. Older players befriended younger ones. They invited them to a private server. They promised not to steal their brain rot, but once trust was built, the trap was set. They stole everything the younger player had. It felt like betrayal by someone you considered a friend. One parent explained why it hurt so much. She said the point of this game is to steal items, but it's also done in a mean way. My son losing friendships over a video game. That same parent checked her son's chat logs in the game. She found insults and bullying from kids he knew in real life. She accused the game of hijacking their brains and turning them on one another. The game wasn't just encouraging deception, it created real bullies. And just when it seemed like things could get worse,
we have to stand against Steal a Brain Rot. We need to rally together. Everyone, give me your brain rots so we can all be equals, except for me because I'm gonna have to hold them. But I will take this burden on myself. Everyone, give me your triple T's, your strawberry elephants, your tralalel tralalas. I will hold the burden of carrying all of the brain rot so no one else can be affected by this.
Some YouTubers realized they could turn the Steal a Brain Rot game into content. Their strategy was simple: steal from children, make them cry, get more views. One YouTuber said it openly.
Today we are once again playing Steal a Brain Rot, but this time we have one single goal.
Job application.
Make as many children cry as possible.
He targeted young players with expensive brain rots. Then he stole from them on camera. Kids begged him to give them back, but he didn't.
All he said in the chat, please don't steal my stuff. I worked so hard to get it.
Children logged off in tears. Their misery became viral content.
Please,
The comments
no.
under these videos were divided. Some viewers wrote that it was sad and mean, while others said the kids deserved it. The controversies about Steal a Brain Rot kept growing. Parents decided they couldn't let this continue, so they banned their kids from playing the game. Despite the controversy, Roblox didn't take any action. Steal a Brain Rot is still on the platform, and children are still crying over stolen brain rots. Up next is a survival game with serious consequences. 99 Nights in the Forest.
Oh, are we being for
99 Nights in
real?
the Forest was a survival game that felt too real. It dropped players into a dark forest at night. They had to chop trees, build fires, and protect themselves from danger. But soon, players realized it was far more disturbing than your typical Roblox game. Some even believed it crossed into something demonic. The first issue was the deer. It stood upright like a person. Its eyes glowed red, and whenever it saw a player, it attacked. Weapons were useless against it. Players panicked as it chased them.
Oh my goodness! Yo, this deer is crazy. This deer is crazy.
But the deer wasn't the only evil creature. The game also had a Wendigo demon, a ram demon, and an owl demon with red eyes. For some players, it felt like a direct
Stop, that deer was
connection to the
scary.
occult. Then came the rituals. Every few nights,
deer was
drums
scary.
echoed through the
Why
forest.
did he have
Dark figures in
hands?
robes gathered around the campfire. They wore deer antler masks that hid their faces.
They have the drums playing. It's also a cutscene. The deer sometimes appears with them. And it's just very, very creepy.
There was even a part where cult members can ambush you and perform a ritual sacrifice in the name of the deer monster. To many, it looked like devil worship unfolding inside a kid's game. Parents started to worry too. One mother said the deer gave off a dark energy. Another parent noticed their child acting strangely after playing. And then people learned the worst part. This evil game was based on a true story. Right before the game loads, a message flashes on screen.
When you join 99 Nights in the Forest, it says it in red that this game is based on a true story, but some details have been changed.
Players wanted to know more, so they started searching for the real story. Eventually, they found a news report from May 2023. A plane crashed deep inside the Amazon jungle in Colombia.
Though the 3 adults on board died, the 4 children, aged 11 months to 13-year-old, survived.
Wait, that's
Those
kind of
children
goated.
lived off forest fruits and seeds. They hid inside hollowed tree trunks to stay safe at night. For 40 days, they fought to survive until rescuers finally found them. It was almost the same story as 99 Nights in the Forest. The game also had 4 missing kids. The forest looked almost identical. Even the crashed plane in the game looked the same as the one from the news. Once players connected the dots, fear turned into outrage. Many believed the game was disrespectful. One comment said, "It just seems morally wrong to exploit a serious event like that by turning it into a game." Some asked Roblox to take it down, but nothing happened. Even with all the complaints, 99 Nights in the Forest is still on Roblox today. Our next game
It's like a
left
super
players
popular
frightened
game
long
now.
after they stopped playing.
The Mimic.
The
We
Mimic
played
is
this
one of the
one.
most
Or
popular
maybe I
horror
think I did.
games on Roblox. It was inspired by Japanese monsters and old urban legends. Most people finished the game and moved on, but for some children, the fear continued long after they stopped playing. They claimed the monsters followed them into real life. The game starts with a simple mission: find a missing person inside an abandoned school.
Basically, we are going to our old school and we're gonna try and find our missing friend.
But the moment players step inside, they meet a terrifying creature named Hiachi. She looks like a young girl, but she's cursed. Her only purpose is to haunt anyone who enters the school. To survive, players must find a key and escape before Hiachi catches them. Hiachi is fast. She can also mimic human voices, which makes the game even scarier.
Lady? Wait, is it mimicking? It's mimicking something.
Whoa.
It's mimicking something. Who's this?
Do you think that's why it's called the Mimic?
Players began posting reaction videos. You could see how terrified they were. Those clips went viral. But when parents saw the reactions, they felt Hiachi was too disturbing for a game. In August 2022, a mother posted this warning on Facebook. She wrote, "Roblox has a new game called The Mimic. It is completely diabolical to my eyes as an adult." She said the game felt dangerous. She even called it evil. Another parent shared something more alarming. Her daughter became so frightened of Hiachi that now when she closes her eyes, she sees the creature. The child believed Hiachi followed her everywhere she goes. These warnings spread fast. Screenshots appeared in parenting groups all over social media. The fear became a digital wildfire. But even after parents begged Roblox to step in, the Mimic was never removed, and millions still play it today. This
Yeah,
next
I
game
played
was
it. I
banned
thought the
by
opening
a
cutscene was
country.
pretty cool.
Piggy.
No,
Piggy launched in
Piggy.
2020. To win, players had to solve puzzles while running from a terrifying villain shaped like a pig.
Uh-oh, guys, it's Piggy. Look at him slowly stuttering towards me.
Is this not based
this
off
is
of
just
Peppa
upsetting.
Pig?
But as the story progressed, the tone got darker. Characters got infected, some turned into monsters, friends betrayed each other. But that wasn't why people complained. What really bothered people was how much the characters looked like Peppa Pig.
Okay,
Take
yeah,
a
I was
look
gonna
at
say.
these guys right here. These are literally Peppa Pig characters, and that's dangerous.
Peppa Pig is one of the most trusted shows for young children. Parents didn't want their kids to see.
No, we watched that other visual venture video where it was a spider episode, and it got banned in Australia because it was telling kids that spiders weren't evil or whatever. I don't fucking remember.
Being a familiar, friendly character transformed into a murderer. They were also worried because Piggy wasn't some niche game. It was one of the biggest games on Roblox with over 13 billion visits.
Damn.
It was even rated ages 5+, but that rating didn't match the disturbing content. Parents started campaigning against the game.
There is a version in Roblox called Piggy. Check this out. This is so demonic.
One viral tweet claimed the game was conditioning kids to be okay with violence. Kids reported having nightmares after playing Piggy. A therapist also said she was dealing with children affected by the game. Some were refusing to sleep alone. Others would not leave their mother's side because they feared a video game monster would attack them. Complaints spread across Twitter and Reddit. Then things escalated. In Turkey, a news report claimed Piggy was a bad influence for children and that kids should stop playing it. Turkish parents took the warning seriously. They demanded action. In August 2024, the Turkish government responded, but they didn't only ban Piggy, they banned all of Roblox. It turns out the Piggy wasn't the only game causing concern. There was more disturbing activities on the platform. Officials said the ban was necessary to ensure the protection of children. The decision made international headlines. Parents in other countries started banning Piggy inside their homes too. Despite the controversy, Piggy is still available on Roblox, but its reputation was permanently damaged. The internet moves fast, and so do the games on it. Today, platforms like Roblox let millions of kids play without enough oversight. My friends, it's up to us to protect the next generation, not by banning everything, but by guiding these kids to make smarter choices. Visual Venture.
Visual Venture.
Wait, before you go, I have a video where we talk about kids games too disturbing for kids. We talk about.
Thank you, Mr. Visual Venture. I thought that was gonna be more like games that like were a little bit more niche. I didn't think we were gonna be talking about steal a fucking brain rot. But that's cool. That's cool. I think, look, here's the issue with Roblox, and I think we've spoken about this before, is someone made a video talking about how like children don't have places to just be children on the internet, which is kind of true because when I was a kid, I would just go on Fun Brain. I think that's what it's called, Fun Brain, and it was literally just this like one website with like little kid games, but like now they hop on Roblox and anybody can play Roblox, and that's where like issues start to arise because anybody can get on Roblox, you know what I'm saying? It's also on, I think, parents to be involved in their children's lives and be like, hey, what are you playing, little Timmy? And if little Timmy's like, I'm playing the Mimic and it's really scary and I think I'm gonna have nightmares, you probably should be like, hey, little Timmy, let's put the iPad down for a little bit. Let's put the iPad down for a little bit, little Timmy. And that's where I think you should probably have a conversation with your son, right?